ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video of the gun tour. This is going to be a very important video as this is the first video in a long line of videos that we're going to do about the Indian Army, how to get in, what to do, what to prepare for, what to expect, and basically everything about it, as it gets very important in the current geopolitical atmosphere. So tune in, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button so you don't miss a thing. The Indian Armed Forces are one of the strongest and the most diverse armed forces in the world. Just like our nation, which has a rapidly growing economy, technology, and a population, we're going to play a much bigger role in world politics as time goes on. And that's why we have to focus on our military power. The Indian military consists of three branches: the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. The Prime Minister is the Commander-in-Chief of all the armed forces, while the Ministry of Defense supervises and coordinates all the functions of the armed forces. The Indian Army is the fourth largest army in the world with over 1.3 million active personnel, and it's responsible for all ground-based operations. The Army is divided into 6 operational commands which are based on the different regions of the country and 1 training command. The Northern Command, Western Command, Eastern Command, Southern Command, Southwestern Command, Central Command, and the Army Training Command. The Army also has various support and auxiliary divisions that provide for medical care, logistics, and engineering support. The largest part of the Indian Army is, of course, the infantry, and it has various battalions stationed all across the country. The Indian Armed Forces are divided into various formations based on their location and operation responsibilities. These are the Corps, which are large field formations responsible for managing and directing multiple divisions. Divisions that are major tactical formations that consist of many brigades, providing a higher level of command and control during combat. Brigades are smaller tactical formations comprising a lot of battalions, which are responsible for conducting combat operations in a specific area. Battalion, which is the basic unit of the Indian Army's ground forces, with each battalion comprising of several companies and platoons. Company, which is composed of several platoons and are responsible for conducting operations at a tactical level. Platoons consist of 2 to 4 sections and are led by a junior officer. Then there is the section, which is the smallest tactical formation of the Indian Army. The Indian Armed Forces also have several paramilitary forces that are responsible for maintaining internal security, law and order. The Border Security Force is responsible for guarding India's land borders, while the Central Reserve Police Force is responsible for maintaining law and order in the country. The Indian Coast Guard is also responsible for maritime security along India's coasts. Guys, subscribe to the channel. All the good people are doing it. And don't forget to ring that bell. Ding. The Indian Navy conducts maritime operations and protects our maritime borders and sea trade. It is also responsible for disaster relief operations and, of course, projecting Indian influence overseas, literally and metaphorically. The Navy is divided into 3 naval commands, each responsible for its own region. There is the Western Naval Command, which is responsible for the Arabian Sea and the western coast of India, which is actually the most tense because of Pakistan and pirates. Then there is the Eastern Naval Command, which is responsible for the Bay of Bengal and the eastern coast of India. And finally, the Southern Naval Command, which is responsible for the Indian Ocean, southern coast of India, and the Gulf of Mannar. Each command is further subdivided into several fleets, flotillas, and squadrons, which are responsible for specific types of operations. The Navy is equipped with a wide range of vessels, submarines, and aircrafts for conducting maritime operations. These include the INS Chakra, a nuclear-powered attack submarine leased from Russia. The Indian Navy has a total personnel strength of approximately 67,000 sailors, including officers and support staff of 75,000 in reserve. The Indian Navy has a well-trained officer corps which include both permanent commissioned officers and short service commissioned officers, and an experienced sailor workforce. In addition to its main role of safeguarding India's maritime borders, the Indian Navy has been involved in a number of operations, including humanitarian relief efforts, anti-piracy measures, and several joint naval exercises with other countries. Overall, the Indian Navy is a critical component of India's military capabilities and plays an important role in maintaining the country's strategic interest in the Indian Ocean. The Indian Air Force is the fourth largest air force in the world. It is responsible for conducting aerial warfare and providing air support to the Indian Armed Forces. It is very important to understand the role the Air Force plays in a modern battlefield, because if you have the air, you have the battle. The Indian Air Force is organized into multiple commands, each responsible for a specific geographic region of India. It consists of about 170,000 active personnel, about 140,000 reserve personnel, and over 1,900 aircraft. The IAF has a well-trained and experienced pilot corps, with many pilots having experience in combat situations. The Indian Air Force is divided into 7 commands, which are responsible for the management and operation of air assets in their respective regions. These commands are the Western Air Command, Eastern Air Command, Central Air Command, Southern Air Command, Southwestern Air Command, Training Command, and the Maintenance Command. Each command is further divided into multiple wings, squadrons, and units, which are responsible for conducting specific operations and tasks in its area of responsibility. The Indian Air Force is equipped with a wide range of combat aircraft, transport planes, helicopters, and unmanned aerial vehicles. We will not speak of the whole list of aircrafts, but speaking of air power, we will mention some of the fighter jets India has. The IAF operates around 272 Sukhoi 30 MKIs. These are considered the backbone of the IAF's fighter fleet. The Dassault Mirage 2000, of which the IAF has approximately 50 Mirage 2000s in service. Mikoyan MiG-29. The IAF operates around 59 MiG-29s. The HAL Tejas. The IAF has inducted around 50 Tejas aircrafts and plans to make around 470 jets in the near future. Sepakat Jaguar. The IAF has approximately 125 Sepakat Jaguars in service, which are primarily used for ground attack and close air support missions. The Mikoyan MiG-21. The IAF operates around 170 MiG-21s. The HAL AMCA Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft. India has been developing its 5th generation fighter jet, the AMCA. The IAF operates transport planes such as the C-17 Globemaster III, C-130J Super Hercules, and the Boeing 737. These planes are used for transporting troops, supplies, and equipment. Helicopters. The IAF operates a variety of helicopters, including the MiL Mi-17, HAL Dhruv, and the Boeing CH-47 Chinook. These helicopters are primarily used for transportation and search and rescue operations. UAVs. The IAF operates special types of unmanned aerial vehicles, including the Heron and Searcher. These UAVs are used for reconnaissance and surveillance missions. The Indian Air Force is one of the largest air forces in the world, with a total personnel strength of approximately 140,000. This includes pilots, ground crew, and support staff. The IAF has a well-trained and experienced pilot corps, with many pilots having experience in combat situations. In addition to its main role of conducting aerial warfare, the Indian Air Force plays a crucial role in providing air support to ground forces during combat operations. The IAF has been involved in a number of conflicts, including the Kargil War and the recent conflict with Pakistan in February 2019. Overall, the Indian Air Force is a critical component of India's military capabilities, providing air superiority and support to ground forces during combat operations. By the way, every military branch has its own special force. For example, the Indian Army has the Para-SF, the Air Force has the Garud, the Navy has the Marcos. That's why to watch the best review on these special forces, click here and you'll be taken right to the video. Now I hope you learned something today and you enjoyed this video. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because this is going to be one of the long line of videos that we're going to put out about the Indian Army, how to get in, what are the conditions, everything about it. So see you next time.